What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Heisey. It's been a minute since I've done one of these, but it's been a pretty good couple weeks lately with the Centurion deck. So basically, I'm just going to give you my list of what I've been doing with my deck. I changed it up since the week prior, or 2 weeks ago. Just like a small change. But when I get to it, I'll inform you on like what the changes were, but pretty standard stuff. We'll start with the in-engine. So we got 3 Primera, 3 Trudea, and then the one-ofs. These are obviously the engine. These 6 right here are obviously your starters right here. These guys, I mean, this is pretty good too since it's a tuner and a non-tuner, which is pretty nice. Like if you happen to open it, you know, whatever. If you don't have the Emblema or Centurion, you lose the draw, obviously, but at least you get, you know, a tuner or a non-tuner on the board, so that can somewhat help you. This card, I mean, same. I mean, if anything, maybe if you brick on it, like if you're able to get, you know, if you happen to open one of these and they get impermed or something like that, at least you can like send it away with this and at least have like a big body to like defend you. It sucks, but it happens. Sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes you just open up a hand full of just hand traps and 1 starter, and then if they ash or impermanent, then all right. It'd be like that sometimes. No deck is foolproof. They all brick at some point. It just be like that. I mean, I've seen plenty of decks that just have so much gas that like shouldn't brick end up bricking. You know, like Snake Eyes and I mean, the Snake Eyes being the #1, honestly. I mean, when it was at full power too, especially, you know, like to see that deck brick sometimes should be like that. Still in engine here. Then we have the 3 field spell along with the terraforming, just because I mean, it might as well just be another field spell. You get drolled, it's whatever, because this just places and you're still somewhat chilling. At least, you know, you can't get your extenders, but you can still put some bodies on the board and like have some follow-up. So pretty good. Then the oaths, obviously. Oaths are pretty good. Oaths are nice. And then the one of Centurion Bonds and Wake Up. I mean, you can honestly cut one of these if you're going second or whatever, but these are pretty good. It sucks if you open up both of these and like all hand traps. That shit sucks, but hasn't happened to me yet. But you know, it's just a little added extra. You don't really need these. Like some people just play this and like they don't play the Wake Up or whatever. It's whatever is up to you. I like both. Playing both is, there's been times where like I either, you know, going second, I'll cut this or this, and then there'll literally be situations where I need this or this to like help me extend. It just be like that sometimes. I don't know. They're cards that you can live with or without. It's just what it be like. And then forgot about the I run 2 Phalanx. I mean, it's not bad of a card. Like let's say you brick, you open up with like all hand traps and like one of these. At least you can still set this and like potentially like kind of, you know, maybe end their turn depending on what they have in hand. Banishing you know, one of their starter monsters, like, you know, let's say Snake Eye or something like that. They, you know, normal summon Poplar or something like that. You know, you banish this and they're kind of crying. Plenty of other decks too, where like you can just like, you know, banish their 1 main monster and like you're chilling and they end up passing. You know, again, it all comes down to hands. Your hand, your opponent's hand. Nothing's perfect in this world. You can't predict everything. Now for the non-engine / hand traps, if you want to call it that, whatever, extenders, all that good shit. Running the Bestial package, obviously. I was thinking about the Horse package. The Horse package is good, especially like if you want to get into like the, you know, the level 12 synchros. And then also, I mean, just the horse bodies themselves, their whole interaction is really good. But the only reason why I didn't go with it is because like this deck in general, somewhat, doesn't really lose to D-Shifter. That's what's really nice about the Centurions, because they, you know, especially Auxilla can grab, you know, from the banish, so can set from the banish. So playing it with the horse engine, you're losing more now to D-shifter, whereas before you could care less, especially when you open up a handful of horse stuff. Like you're just passing, you lost. Especially if they have like full combo, like it's done. So if they happen to D-shifter you and you got horse, it's whatever. So that's why I went with these, with the Bestials. So I got the 3 Lubellions, and then obviously the 3 one-ofs, the Magma Hydruis and the Baldrake. All of them are really, really good. Most of the time I end up just citing out either one of these, and then one of these as well, just so I can, like, you know, just have a smaller package and more consistency towards, like, the, you know, the Centurion stuff, or even like the stuff that I cite in for it, like the floodgates or whatever. But yeah, this helps really, really good. You know, with the extension and the other synchros like Bestial, Dispatter, or even, you know, with Lubellion, you can still do your level 12 synchro as well. So good interruptions as well. I wouldn't change it, honestly. I would stick, if you plan on playing this deck, play with the Bestial version. It's just better. And then obviously the branded regain. You gotta play the branded regain. The hand traps, super simple. 2 Droll, 2 Mourner, 2 Nib, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and 3 Imperm. So 15, if you just want to count these and not the Bestials. If you want to count the Bestials, like the Magma Hydruis and the Baldrake, then 18, sure. But I feel like this right here is good enough when it comes to that. The changes I made before, I wasn't playing Droll and Lockbird before. I was actually playing 2 Ghost Ogres. I was contemplating going back to the 2 Ghost Ogres, or at least signing them. You can do whatever you want, honestly. I feel like both cards are really good this format with, you know, either Droll or Ogre. Ogre's really good, especially against like the Ryzeal stuff, or even, I think, Malice too, because I think the on-board Malice stuff does things. But I know for sure the Ryzeal, like, it hurts Ryzeal pretty good. So, I mean, you could play with, you know, Ogre, Droll. Droll's really good. Droll, depending on the hand that your opponent has, I mean, it's a turn skip. So, I mean, just go with what you feel better with, what you're more comfortable with. But this is the ratio I'm rolling with right now. You can change it up as much as you want. I was even thinking like going to 3 of the nibs, just because, I mean, it's really, really good this format, especially, again, especially against Malice. I mean, this kills Malice right here. So, along with Lancia and stuff like that. But again, it's up to you. It's your preference. Whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever your local scene is like, that's what you should really be basing it off of as well. Unless you're going to a regional or YCS, whatever. I mean, you kind of want to go with like your standards. But again, judge it on your locals. That's how you should be playing it. If you're just going to locals and you care less about, like, you know, competitive play and, like, you know, YCS regionals, things like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think it's, what am I rocking with here? I think it's 41, either 41 or 42 cards. I wouldn't change anything, honestly, other than, like, you know, whatever. When it comes to ratios, I wouldn't change anything. Just whatever hand traps, whatever you're more comfortable with. Again, it's on you and what your locals are like. Go into the extra deck. So playing SP and IP, just because you can. It's easy. Just another interaction for your opponent to deal with on their turn. If you happen to get, you know, a couple monsters on the field and you grab an IP and everything like that, you could really screw them over with the SP play. And then on top of that, also, I play the Typhon, just in case they have a big old monster on the board. And, like, you know, Typhon's good. I'm considering cutting this, though. I just don't know what to cut it for, but it's cuttable. Whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever you got going on. And then we got the Centurion stuff, the synchros. We have 2 of the Primera. Primera's really, really good, especially for, like, the pop effect. it's really nice because, I mean, especially you have like a, let's say you have like a Bonds engrave or even in hand, and you happen to use, Primus, right? Yeah, Primus for the material. You go bonds, chain bonds to this activation. Whether it's in the graveyard, target the Primera to, set it back, or even just, if you activate it from hand, just set back the Primera. That way you can target, or not target, non-target, destroy this and then some other card on your opponent's field, and this will stay up, which is pretty nice. So you just get another beater, another popper. It's pretty nice. I like it. It's goo and a searcher / extender. Then we got 2 of the Legatias. 2 is more than enough, honestly. I wouldn't go to 2 or 1 on either of these, honestly. 2 are really good. This comes up a lot, especially too. Having these at 2 is, I wouldn't change the ratio on this. 2 is good on here too. You can maybe even cut this down to 1, but 2 is cool. Then we have the 1 Auxilla. That's pretty much it when it comes down to the Centurion synchros. Very small package. Everything else is like just, other shit you can go into, like the, let's see here. We'll start from here. Like we have the 1 Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend for, to burn your opponent if you happen to go to time. There was one time where I could have actually gone this and won the game, but I just said, it's a tie or whatever. I completely forgot that I could do this, and not only can it destroy your opponent's special summon monsters, it's all special summon monsters. So you can destroy as many other special summon monsters on the field, and your opponent will burn for that. So don't forget that, like I did, and be dumb and lose a game because of it. Or not lose, but, miss out on a win. Then we have the 1 Chaos Angel. Shout out to Cthulhu. Let me borrow that. It's a beautiful card. Nice ulti. This thing's come in clutch a lot, especially when you make it with a light and dark, and your opponent literally can't do anything to get him off the field. It's pretty nice. Then we have the Dispatter, obviously for the Bestials and whatnot. It's just another, good interruption for your opponent. Either you're destroying or banishing, or destroying or negating your opponent's cards, depending on what, what's going on. Extender, which is really nice. Target a monster on whatever field or whatever banish, special summon it. And then you can go either, do a link play or even synchro climb even more, whatever. It's good shit. It's a good card. Then we have of course, the Crimson Dragon, and that of course is for the Blazar Dragons. This is honestly like the best card in the deck. I wish Calamity was back, but this will do for now until Calamity comes back. Calamity, go burr. That boy need to come back. I like that card. That was nice. And then the last one, also the Crimson Target. The Supernova. I don't bring him out much, but there have been times where, like, I know if I brought him out, the game would have ended a lot quicker, especially against, like, those Snake Eye players, because, you're banishing everything on their side of the field after they activate a monster effect. So it could be game ending, especially for decks that, can't handle that. Pretty good. And then the side deck. I run the Spookies. It's an amazing card. I got a gameplay coming up for that very soon. This thing, I love this card so much, especially when, like, your opponent just, like, happens to shotgun a special summon or something like that. It's in time. It's nice. So 3 Spookies. I expected some Malice to show up at the locals, but they didn't. So 3 Artifact Lancias. Again, it's depending on what your locals is like. My locals, where I go, happens to be very competitive, so you're always gonna... I've always seen either Snake Eyes, whatever the meta is at the time, it's there. So I expected Malice. Again, Malice, Ryzeal. This is more for Malice. It's just a turn skip for them if they don't have a negate for it. But also a really good card if, you happen to have a locals that's full of Malice players. Definitely play it. Why not? 3D Barrier, obviously for Tenpai. Ryzeal, things like that. Didn't see Ryzeal or Tenpai, so I didn't really have to worry about that too much. But yeah, that's more for them. Again, especially for Ryzeal too. This is just a game ender for them. Unless they're playing the Fiendsmith engine, then they can still do somewhat, but they're not getting their XCs at least. So, then we go with the 3 Cosmics. You know what they do. And then my personal favorite, I've been loving so much, are the deck lockdowns. These are nice. Face-up Droll on the field. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The deck can play through it. Not gonna lie, there are times where I wish it wasn't on the field, so that way I can use, you know, Primus's effect to search for any Centurion card or even Auxilias if I synchro into it. But the fact that it also really hurts your opponent as well is pretty nice. Especially, I mean, most of the time they could care less if they don't have to add, but the other fact that you can't even special summon from the deck just kills a lot of decks, other than this one, because we don't special from the deck. We special from the back row, which is pretty nice. And of course, you know, the Atre's effect to draw one bypasses this because you're drawing a card. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. Got first place twice in a row with this deck so far. And another time before that, just with this ratio, I've gotten first place with twice, a week apart from each other. So pretty good. 6-0. I can't complain. I wouldn't really change too much when it comes down to the ratios or anything like that. But other than that, I mean, again, it just comes down to, you know, what your locals looks like, what they're playing. If it's casual, if it's competitive, just things that you got to think of when you're there. Take a look around, walk around, play for bullshit, gather your information, go home, fix what you need to fix, and then go back the next week to kick their ass. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If there's things that maybe I should add, if there's cool, you know, some tech that that's not in here that maybe should be in here, give me the goo. Give me what's bad. Give me everything. Just comment whatever you think. That's what we're here for. We learn and we play.